The first sentence in the first chapter of The Distant Hours is, "It all started with a letter," which is a sentence that I believe describes you as a writer as well. What is it?
Okay. The Distant Hours, it starts with a character called Edie Birchall, who's visiting her parents for lunch when a mysterious letter that's been lost for 50 years drops through the mail slot. Her mother picks it up and turns it over, and when she reads the name and address on the back, she starts to cry. And so a mystery is sparked.
Your protagonist in The Distant Hours, Edie, says about the Mudman, your book within the book, that it's the one reading experience that makes her a reader. The Distant Hours, what was the starting point of that novel?
Well, that one was different actually to all my other books. I'm a real plotter. You know, I like to sit down and write ideas long before I start. And I had done that with my third book, and I was 60,000 words in when all of a sudden I pictured these three sisters living in a crumbling old castle, and I knew that a terrible thing had happened. And I knew what it was, and it didn't belong at all in the book that I was halfway through writing. So eventually I couldn't resist, and I put the other 60,000 words aside, and I said, I'm going to give myself 1 week, which I did, and I sat down and wrote the first chapter in a night, and I just knew, it just felt better. That was the one.
How would you, I mean, reading a Kate Morton book gives you a very distinct sort of feeling immediately that I'm in Kate Morton's literary universe.
Oh, well, I'm really glad to hear you say that, because that's what I hope. For me, and I can only guess that for a reader it's the same way I feel when the writing is going well. And that's when it's not just black marks on a white page. It starts to assemble a world of secrets and families, and a world where the present and the past rub up against one another. That's the world I love to be in.